Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday's Assembly. This week we've all caught up. We've only got one quote of the week. It is from a man who sadly is no longer alive. His name is Bruce Lee. He was a martial arts performer. Although martial arts is a physical contact sport, he was also a very peaceful man who thought deeply about why he wanted to do martial arts and how he should conduct himself, which I think is appropriate for our theme of the half term. So his quote is, "The more we value things, the less we value ourselves." So he's saying it's more important to value ourselves. Now, before we start, as always, let's start with the song. This week it is performed by Miss Barrow, who's using Makaton signs to sign a wonderful song that I knew when I was your age, and it's called What a Wonderful World. So pause this assembly and actually sing if you know the words, but definitely listen to A Wonderful World. Well, I hope you enjoyed that song. I think it's quite important sometimes to stop and enjoy life and think about all the things that make us happy. And that song definitely makes me feel happy. Anyway, let's start our assembly. It's our values assembly. And remember, a value is a principle that guides our thinking and our behaviour. So this term, our value is, did you get it right? It's reflection. What does reflection mean to you? I think it's a really good time to stop and think. That's what reflection is. It's stopping and thinking. So let's think about the different aspects of reflection. So when you reflect, you should be thinking about others. You should think before you act so not to hurt others. You should be thinking about your work. Just really think before you speak and show empathy. Okay, do you remember our thinking maps? Especially our learning thinking maps, and this one in particular about reflection. It shows that there are two strands to our learning value. One is about how we conduct ourselves and behave and think, and the other one is about how we apply ourselves to our work. So that the idea is that you can use our learning value to help you conduct yourself and in how you think and respond to others. So let's have a quick recap about how you should be thinking about your work. You should be listening to instructions and aim to do your best, not your second best. You should think of ways to improve your work. You should use the 5 Bs or a display to improve your work. And when you have finished, look at your work and check, is it your best? Is it your best effort? And challenge yourself to think of what you can do next. If you do all those things on the previous slide, then you're thinking about your work. You are problem solving. You are really being ambitious and using your reasoning to think about ways to improve your work. Now let's have a quick recap about thinking about how you conduct yourselves and how you interact with others. So when you're reflecting, you should think about how you can help your family, think about how you can help your friends, think about how you can help the school, think about how you can help the community, and think about how you can help your world. Now, if you're thinking about others and how you conduct yourself and interact with others, you are thinking about that part of our thinking maps, which is all about your conduct. You're being considerate. Remember that word. We introduced it a few weeks ago. You're being mindful. You're using your manners. You're being caring. All these positive ways you can conduct yourself. If you are truly being reflective, You are thinking about others and displaying great empathy. Remember, empathy? That's putting yourself into someone else's shoes. How are they feeling? How could you make them feel better? That's really being a good friend. So remember, really try to develop your empathy. Remember, we are all different. We live completely different lives. We are all unique and special. We have different backgrounds, different tastes in so many different things. But put yourself into someone else's shoes and think about how they are feeling before you say unkind words. Always remember to use kind words. This slide is all about making sure you don't hurt people's feelings. Always think before you speak. Think carefully. Before you speak, think. Think and be smart. Is this a kind word you're about to say? Is this a kind sentence? It's really hard to take back your words just like they come out of your mouth. They're invisible, but they have so much impact on the insides of someone. So really think before you speak, because you can't get those words back, but they can hurt someone, and it's so hard to fix unkind words. So I always say, stop and think before you speak. Words are powerful. Use them in a positive way to make sure you do not hurt someone, but to make them feel good. No one is perfect, and sometimes we do say unkind words or we use our hands in an unkind way. So stop and apologize. It shows that you care. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that you care and value others. So you stop and apologize. When you apologize, you are showing someone that you value them, that you love them, and that you respect them. It is not a sign of weakness. And you shouldn't be saying sorry because someone has told you to do it. It should be something that's natural. Don't wait for an adult to say, apologize. Just do it. Make that person feel so valued. We've just recapped some of the slides from previous weeks. I would like us to recap some of the slides, the new slides from last week. But before we do that, I would like us to think about our British values. Can you remember how many there are? Were you right? 4. And how many learning values, school values are there? Were you right? 6. Well, our British values are linked to our learning values. We have lots that are in common. When we think about our learning value, respect, what British value is that? Were you right? Mutual respect for and tolerance for of those with different faiths and beliefs. Now, last week and the week before, we introduced 2 new words. Remember what they were? There's diversity, very important, and equality and diversity. Remember those words? Should we have a quick recap? So what does diversity mean? Well, diversity means diverse, and diverse means different, and different is good. We should celebrate our differences. There are different cultures, which means race, different genders, boys and girls, different religious beliefs, different abilities, different age, and so many others. So we are all different, and it is our differences that make us unique and special, and that makes our country really interesting. If we didn't have freedom to do what we wanted to do and to be different, the world would be so boring. So be proud and confident of your differences, of your different hair, your different skin colours, different abilities, different foods you like to eat, different religions. But more importantly, respect other people's differences and celebrate those differences because we are all unique and special. With equality and diversity comes the need to respect differences. People may have different beliefs and interests, but we must respect and be tolerant of those differences. It is a British value to show mutual respect for and tolerance of those with different faiths and beliefs and those without faith. Some people do not treat people with equality, which means equal. They may treat people differently because of their age. Oh, she's old, she's too old. Or their gender. Oh, she's a girl, she can't do it. Or their sexual orientation, or their race, or their religious beliefs. And this is called discrimination. The title states it, treating people with inequality. That's discrimination. We are all equal and we all deserve mutual respect. So I don't want to hear, oh, Mrs. Mallet is too old, she can't do that. I heard someone say that last week. Give me a try. Let me try it. Let me have a go. I'm not too old. You should never assume something about someone. Looking at me, you might think I was too old to skip. I can skip, can't I? Have you seen that video of me skipping along with Mr. Needham? Some people might say, oh, well, she can't skip because she's black, or because she's a Catholic, or I don't know, because she's a girl. Those things are just assumptions. They're not correct. I can skip because I've tried to skip and really work hard at skipping. And really, that's what counts, is the effort you put in. So don't let someone stop you from doing something you really set your mind to doing. If someone says to you, oh, you can't do this because you're too old, or because you're a boy, or because you're a girl, or because you're black, or because you're white, or because you're a Christian, or because you're a Muslim, or I don't know. So many different things. It's exhausting to think about all these different things. But stand strong. You can do anything you set your mind to, and everyone else should be treating you with respect. So the problem is their problem. You just keep on doing your best. Just keep on shining and be a superstar. So everyone, remember to treat each other with respect. We all have hidden superpowers. So let's recap a second British value, rule of law. It is illegal. What does that mean? Illegal means it's against the law to discriminate against another person because of their race or their culture, their age, their gender, sexual orientation, religious belief, or maternity. There are laws that protect our rights. Remember our rights, our human rights? As always, let's end with thinking about all those new words that we've looked at this week. Over the weeks, we looked at the word being considerate, having empathy, treating each other with equality, which means equal, celebrating our differences, which is another word for diversity. So let's end with a quiet moment. You might want to call it a prayer or a reflection, but just having some quiet thinking time. So as we calmly and quietly reflect and think. Think about how reflection makes the world a better place to be. Remember, think before you speak and act. Now, this is my reflection. Remember, you can pause it, this slide, and have your own reflection, your own prayer, whatever you want to call it. Or you might just want to do some cleansing breaths as you have calming, clearing thoughts. Think about what we just talked about. Think about how you can make the world a better place by thinking before you speak and act, about how to celebrate each other's differences, really be proud of who you are. We are all special, we are all unique. So here in our school, let us be peaceful at all times. Let our rooms be full of happiness and respect for each other. Let love be in our hearts, with kindness and compassion for all. Let us remember, in learning together, we grow together and succeed together.